My brothers and sisters, the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure buried in a field, which a person finds and hides again. And out of joy goes and sells all that he has and buys the field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant searching for fine pearls. When he finds a pearl of great price, he goes and sells all that he has and buys it." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. This morning, I would like to be like Solomon, asking God only but wisdom, so I can be the wise person in the world, that nobody can be just like me, according to the scripture. But then I realized that as a sinful man, I just requesting what somebody else did in advance, so it will make no the same effect. Then I would like to be like the business person who loves to buy the best piece of jewelry he can find, but nobody else can have it. But then I realized that Jesus already said that. So then, what should I say? Perhaps that is the reflection of each of us. Then you realize that, like myself, the last few weeks we have heard that how important it is to be the rich soil. And we know that we are a rich soil that sometimes need an extra work to be cleaned up in order to produce a bountiful fruit. Today, the kingdom of heaven is compared like a treasure which is buried in a field, just like the last two parables. And we know that it is possible. Unfortunately, we just learn about the beauty of our faith sometimes in our old age. And younger people perhaps are missing the great point to be strong in their faith, knowing that God and God alone can do great things for each of us. I hope you remember when you were a teenager, and even before teenager, when your mom and dad asking you to get ready to go to church, what you used to say, "Oh, here we go, church again. I went to the Catholic school all week and church on Sunday. Something wrong with my mom and dad. Every week I have to go to church." But as we grow older, we realize that we miss a great opportunity to be connected with Jesus, our blessed sacrament, the one who is able to give us everything we need to go forward and to improve our life and to do better. If you just remember today, you will follow every single advice that you have received from your parents, elderly friends, your uncles and aunts given to you, and you will follow every advice they're giving you. You will say to yourself, "You know what? By now, I will be probably a billionaire. I will do much better." But how hard-headed I was at my younger age. When I reflect about that, and I said, by now I will serve probably 25, 30 years as a priest. But I thought that I was more brilliant and smart than the people who were giving me an advice. When I turned around and I had to advise to a young man and women, and I said to myself, knowing that you are not going to follow my advice, let me tell you anyway. So, what is the meaning of the treasure which is buried in the field? And we know, if each of us know what is the true meaning of a treasure, something which is extremely important, don't you will do your very best to keep it to yourself and share it with nobody? If, just like this, a ring will be meaningful to you, then you will wear it with great pride, or you will put it in a safe that nobody else can touch it, because you know how meaningful it is. Not just material value, but also the emotional value is implied in it. If our faith is the best, we are going to keep our faith intact, that nobody can touch it. And we know that our faith will make us bigger and stronger. Then we understand and realize what Solomon is asking for. To follow his father, David, was a great king. He said, I don't know how to do this. I'm a young man. Inexperienced. Just tell me what you want, God says. The only thing I request is wisdom. And God has given to him. If God comes to you today and said to you, what do you want for me to do for you? What will be your answer? Some of us will say, give us the solution for the pandemic. It's a good idea. But maybe we need to ask for something more, because God is asking you only once in your life, so take advantage. Lord, I want for us to be healthy. Okay, you can have good health, but what else do you need? God, I want for me, my children, my family, my relatives, my friends, always to have a job, so they can provide the necessary needs at home. Yes, God is giving you that. But what else you can ask? Lord, sometimes I have difficulties understanding my neighbor. Sometimes it is complicated to understand when someone comes to me asking for a solution to a problem. Sometimes I don't know how to act when someone asking me for a question. God may say, I give you wisdom, understanding, but what else you can ask? You pay close attention. Solomon asked for wisdom, but there is more you can ask for, more than health and richness. I will ask to God just one more thing, and I believe all of you will join me with this request. Lord, if you call me into your presence, I would like to be just in front of you so I can enjoy happiness, mercy, joy. Everything else could be read. Solomon got the wisdom that he needs, and God gave it to him, granting what he requests. Will you request wisdom? I will request to be in heaven. And I know that all of you will do the same, only because our faith is placed in God. And we know that God is able to help us. So the parable in today's gospel invites us to reflect that these people do their very best to go and find what they wanted and to keep it to yourself. The only thing we want is to be happy in this world and to join God in heaven. And by doing that, we know that we are going to be extremely happy and joyful. So therefore, let us always keep attentive the meaning of our faith and the way how we live our life and the way how we profess our faith with actions and words in order to encourage others to follow us. Because at the end, we just want to be with God forever and ever. May God be praised.